There are 5 practices of exemplary leadership. These practices are ways in which people become successful leaders. These 5 practices are possible for any leader to use if they want to push an organization to a new standard and accomplish much more. The practice that we will be going over in this video is model the way. Modeling the way means that a leader behaves in the way that they expect from others. They lead by example and are driven by both their individual values and the shared values of the entire organization. In order for a leader to behave in the way in which they want others to act, they must understand why they behave the way that they do. This stems from what they value and what the organization wants to accomplish. There have been countless examples throughout history, movies, and the media of leaders that have been successful in using this practice. One example of modeling the way that many people are familiar with is Regina George in the movie Mean Girls.
Major, one day, maybe next week, I'm gonna meet ya, I'll meet ya.
She is a figure that girls in her school all look up to and want to be like. Her fashion style is an inspiration to the girls, whether she is trying to start a trend or not. Her fashion statement caught on because of the example that she set.
The relational leadership model is an approach to leadership that involves 5 components. These components are being a purposeful leader, including everyone in the group, empowering others, making ethical decisions, and accomplishing these elements by being process-oriented. The framework of knowing, being, and doing is also crucial in accomplishing goals as a leader. The leader must have knowledge of the situation, be influenced by their feelings and beliefs, and take action to accomplish goals.
One aspect of the RLM is being purposeful. All leaders have a purpose in what they do and how they act. A great example of someone who is modeling the way with a purpose is Malala Yousafzai. Malala fought for women's educational rights in 2009 when the Taliban prohibited girls from going to school in Pakistan. Malala wrote anonymously for blogs about her experiences in Pakistan under the rule of the Taliban. Unfortunately, Malala was shot in the head for standing up for what she believes in. Through all of these events, Malala has managed to win the Nobel Peace Prize and continue to stand up and fight the Taliban. She has become extremely influential and is a very successful leader because she has given others the inspiration to make a difference in the world. Despite all of the physical, mental, and emotional setbacks Malala has dealt with, she is still trying to pave the way for others like her to follow in her footsteps.
An example of a person who embodies inclusiveness as well as model the way is Caitlyn Jenner. Earlier this year, Caitlyn, formerly known as Bruce Jenner, came out as a transgender woman and was finally able to live as her true self. Before her transition, she was known as one of the greatest athletes of all time who won several awards, including an Olympic medal. As a major public figure, Caitlyn has been able to do numerous positive things for the trans community. She was able to set an example of being true to yourself as well as including everyone, regardless of differences in gender. Caitlyn Jenner truly modeled the way when she found her voice. She discovered what she cared about, what defined her, and what made her the way she is. She's an authentic leader who leads according to the principles that matter most to her. In July, Jenner gave an inspirational speech at the ESPYs after accepting the Arthur Ashe Courage Award.
If there's one thing I do know about my life, it is the power of the spotlight. Sometimes it gets overwhelming, but with attention comes responsibility. As a group, as athletes, how you conduct your lives, what you say, what you do, is absorbed and observed by millions of people, especially young people. I know I'm clear with my responsibility in going forward to tell my story the right way, for me, to keep learning, to do whatever I can to reshape the landscape of how trans issues are viewed, how trans people are treated, and then more broadly, to promote a very simple idea: accepting people for who they are, accepting people's differences.
Overall, Caitlyn has modeled the way by setting an example to the public that everyone should be accepted regardless of what he or she identifies as.
Many successful leaders that model the way are those that empower their followers. One great example of this is in the movie The Blind Side. When Leanne Tui takes in Michael Oher as if he is one of her own children, she models the way for a change in her predominantly white, racist community. Her family is empowered by her actions, which leads them to continue the example she set for them.
Where are you going?
Collins.
Quit looking at me like that. I mean, we studied together at home.
Another piece of the relational leadership model is being an ethical leader. This relates to modeling the way, since leaders must know their values and how they want others to act when they behave and make their own decisions. A leader must ensure that they are making ethical choices if followers are looking up to see how they are acting in a situation. If a follower sees that a leader is doing something unethical, they will be less prone to making the right decision. One example of when a leader makes an ethical decision that affects others is recycling. We have all had that moment where we recycle something because we saw the person before us do so, or we threw something in the trash that should have been recycled just because it was more convenient. We can all be ethical leaders in our everyday lives by recycling and doing what we know is right for our world and environment.
Many leaders that model the way are also process-oriented. They have an end goal in mind that motivates their decisions throughout the process to accomplish what needs to be done. Process-oriented leaders who model the way know the beliefs they stand for, know what they want to say, and are able to clearly articulate deeply held beliefs. I have seen this type of leader in my own life as a part of the Turfthon planning team. Turfthon organizes many different events throughout the year, which all culminates in a 12-hour dance marathon to benefit Children's National Health System in Washington, D.C. Each year, a goal is set of how much money we are trying to raise. The leaders of this organization inspire the group to put in a lot of effort by making it evident how much work they are putting into it. I constantly see the executive board posting their fundraising link on Facebook to reach their goals, which then inspires me to fundraise more to contribute towards our goal. They also plan many events throughout the year that contribute to the process in order to surpass our fundraising goal.
In Model the Way, the leader creates standards of excellence and sets an example for others to follow. An exemplary leader is one who is certain of their values and beliefs and makes thoughtful decisions and actions to inspire and help others. The consistency between their values and actions allows for their credibility. When a leader behaves in a way that is purposeful, inclusive, empowering, ethical, and process-oriented, that allows for followers to model their behavior after them, and then they are truly successful.